We went from wire rigs to gimbal rigs where we had more of a base plate. You name it. Flying was one of many attributes that we had to really take our time to figure out how do we do this correctly.
Since James Gunn entered the Warner Brothers world after leaving Marvel, fans were iffy on what could come of this major shift. Turns out he had bigger plans than what we originally thought.
Traditionally, you do a lot of sculpting in clay and make your molds, but for our Superman suit, we wanted the lines and the details to be extremely precise. So we drew it all in a 3D application.
Now that Superman is out, fans are getting a glimpse at what strategy James Gunn is trying to use to shift the DCEU.
Zack and I would sit down and come up with a scale. So we have some sort of rules, a playbook, right? Some guidelines, foundation to go, okay, let's try and not violate these.
Today, though, we wanted to backtrack and visit Henry Cavill's Superman in order to relive some of his best moments and share some of the best kept secrets from when he starred as Superman.
So basically, we take that as a reference and then we build all the physics around the action to see if it makes sense or not.
But before we get into more of these moments, today's trivia question: what was his first breakout role in 2001? Leave your guesses in the comments down below, and stick around till the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct. Henry Cavill's dedication to portraying Superman involved both physical and emotional depth. Before making his DCEU debut, Cavill had starred in only a handful of films, like the Greek mythological epic Immortals and the fantasy adventure Stardust.
And rather than the traditional thing, which was made out of the cloth that his parents wrapped him in when he was sent off from Krypton, in our version, the Superman suit is, in a sense, it's like the foundation, it's the undergarment that all Kryptonians wear.
This is what set him apart from other live-action Superman actors. Along with his dramatic prowess, Cavill also gave his all physically. Cavill's intense workouts and attempts at bulking up made the DCEU Superman a real tour de force in the franchise's action sequences.
We really very much wanted the suit to have come from someplace, to come from that legacy of Krypton.
So here we are in the Genesis chamber with Zod and Jor-El finally coming to I guess an additional violent ending. We knew that we were going to have to do a computer death of Jor-El, as well as the one that happened back on Krypton.
Much like Christopher Reeve, before him, Henry Cavill refused the cheat trick of using steroids to get in shape as Superman. Right from the beginning of his training, Cavill made it clear that he wanted to build his superhero body in the old school way. One interesting fact about this film was that Zack Snyder wanted to keep the red trunks on the suit, but the visual team drew up 1,500 designs and the red trunks didn't look right on a single one, so he decided to cut them.
I want to mention we are currently doing a giveaway. Share what you were most excited for with this project, and the best comment will win a $25 Fandango gift card where you can purchase a full movie with added bonus features. Comment down below and one winner will be chosen.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the oil rig sequence. The interiors of the oil rig, as well as the exterior, were all built in a parking lot in Vancouver, British Columbia. Basically, we created an oven. When you see Henry, of course, in the doorway after he rips the weird tin door off, which when we shot it was just like a piece of tin foil that he crushed. It allowed the CG door actually to be destroyed.
Prior to Zack Snyder, David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan putting together Man of Steel, Matthew Vaughn and Mark Miller were planning to make an epic 8-hour trilogy that would tell the entire story of Superman's life.
What was the thinking behind sort of hardly ever saying the word Superman in the film? I mean, it was coughed over.
Well, we just wanted to get to the sort of man. That's kind of what Man of Steel. It's like we want to put the man before Superman first, and then let him evolve into Superman, and let that kind of the origin of those things as well. Like, where did Superman come from? Huh? You know, I like that we kind of Lois is the one that kind of coins it, you know.
This is probably where James Gunn came and essentially replaced Henry Cavill with a different actor to tell the origins of Superman's story.
Because we had this, you know, organic movie language that we were going for, the danger was like, oh, it'll just feel like sort of sci-fi Earth. And I was like, no, I want it to be exotic, you know. I want it to feel, even though we're shooting it with the same cameras, I want it to feel like we're really literally on another world.
It's safe to say that he left a mark as Superman in Zack Snyder's films. Superman remains an iconic cinematic character in spite of not having an immediate future in the movies of DC films, and one can only hope that it won't be long before we see the character on the big screen again.
For us, when we were figuring out what we were going to do with Man of Steel with Superman, we really wanted to make sure, because he really is a superhero. Batman is not a superhero, he's human. He does extraordinary things, but he's really human. So how do you relate to somebody who has superpowers? And that's really what we focused on. We knew we were going to have to give that film also a great deal of spectacle and fun.
With James Gunn being the new head at DC, it's hard to predict where Henry Cavill's Superman would fit into his new storyline. But there has been so many people in the industry saying he will be returning as a superhero. It's not quite clear yet as to where.
We really wanted to make the character, even though he has superpowers, very compelling emotionally to people.
Hopefully we will see him soon somewhere on the big screen again.
1, 2, 3. Awesome. Yeah. And then I'll wait till comes back. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you want to go? Yeah, because it's cool if you can get that extension. Boom.
You got it.
We've done everything but put the camera in. Okay, we've got it.
And the most important thing about this scene for us as characters, we are essential to work as a team.
As much as there are talks for a Man of Steel 2, Warner Brothers seem to be rejecting it. However, in an interview promoting the final Mission Impossible movie, director Christopher McGuire, who had previously partnered with Cavill to pitch a sequel to Man of Steel in 2018, he revealed the door was still open for projects that didn't come to fruition, and that he was open to reuniting with Cavill to pitch the movie again if the opportunity was presented in the future.
He says so much, but it's not like it's a deliberate thing. Clark is just being who he is. He's not trying to be something else. He's not being a parody of anything. Because Clark exists as he exists. He doesn't know why or what or who he is. And it's only when he starts to discover more and more and more and he stretches himself beyond.
Aside from his work in Superman, and great work at that, he also has a few other projects he's currently working on. In the Gray, Voltron, and Enola Holmes 3 are all in production as of right now. And as far as the answer to our trivia question, Henry Cavill got his foot into Hollywood with Laguna playing as Thomas.
He eats a lot of things.
Well, name one.
I mean, okay, it depends. If I'm mass building, then I'll eat burgers and stuff.
No cardio.
No, I run.
But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What do you think about all these moments? Which one was your favorite? And what did you learn from today from the behind the scenes moments that you didn't know before? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this.
This one, I just sort of felt that he really didn't see her as an archetype of a comic book heroine, and I liked that. He really, you know, when he cast me, I knew he was willing to go outside the box a little bit, and so...
That's it for today, though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye, guys.
I wanted that experience of being out there on location to influence everything. Henry, all of us, design, not be, you know, corralled into shooting one little corner of the set because there was nothing else to film. Being able to kind of improvise
as we film.